Welcome to the Travel Man podcast with your host Ben. And on today's podcast, I have my beautiful wife Mandy with me again. And
hi.
Hello. And we're going to be doing part 2 of Playa del Carmen and how Bangkok nearly killed me. So let's get into it. Let's play that sound. Let's go. Hello, Mandy. How are you today?
I'm really good. Thanks. Yourself?
I'm very good, thank you. And you weren't banking today, you were gardening.
Definitely. I was gardening today. I was doing your job today.
You know what? You stick to banking because we need money to keep going on holidays.
Well, it was for a good cause, so a bit of volunteering in a specialist school. So there's a heap of gardens there and we did a lot of work.
Yep.
So I am tired. And I do understand how tired you get in the afternoons. So, yeah, totally understand where you're coming from, but I will stick to banking, I think.
Thank you.
No
and
worries.
I'll stick to doing what I do.
Sure.
The gardening.
Sure.
The gardening. Anyway, so today we're doing Playa del Carmen and how Bangkok nearly killed me, part 2. Mm-hmm. Part 2. Mm-hmm. So, it was a stinking hot morning in the capital of Thailand, that being I was going to say Beijing, Bangkok, and I was trapped on the toilet of death. Something I had eaten at that Mexican restaurant in Bangkok, which we presume was a chicken burrito.
Yeah, we worked that out.
It had ruined me, absolutely. So the last couple of days of the trip in Bangkok, which was the end part of our holiday, was quite awful for me. I couldn't do much. But luckily Bangkok was last, you know.
Yeah, so I'd witnessed you vomiting and I witnessed you on that toilet of death, as you called it.
The toilet of death.
And you know what? I wasn't impressed.
By the toilet or the death?
I wasn't impressed because I really wanted to make the most of Bangkok, our last few days.
Yep.
It was really unfortunate that everyone else had gotten sick on that holiday at some stage, and you had also obviously gotten sick at that point. However, I really wanted to do lots of things. Unfortunately, though, we didn't get to do, I suppose, everything we wanted to do in Bangkok.
No, we wanted to do a lot more.
However, we did look at our photos in the last couple of weeks.
Sure did.
Because it was 2012, 2013.
That's right. It was 2013.
New Year.
Yep.
That we were there.
Yep.
And the reason why we were there is because your brother Patrick had travelled a lot of Asia I don't know, he was gone for a total of 5 months. And at that point when we had met him, I think he had done at least a few months already. And so we thought it would be a good idea to get a bunch of us to go and meet him and have a overseas New Year's.
And it was so much fun, wasn't it?
It was, definitely. So we flew into Bangkok, but we flew out again to Koh Samui straight away. True.
Well, we spent one night in Bangkok at
we did too. Airport hotel.
And that was great. Pool was fun.
Yep.
Remember all of us having a little bit of Thai food in the morning when we got there.
Yep.
Had a bit of a swim.
Yep.
Went to bed. Following morning, we took the plane to Koh Samui.
Yeah.
Koh Samui.
Yeah.
So it was 2012. It was yourself, myself, Matt, Pat, some other people.
Yeah.
It was great just to be with everyone. I love group holidays. I think they're always a lot more fun than just, being by ourselves. Although being by ourselves is a lot of fun as well.
I mean, that's another thing to talk about, I suppose, is when you do travel on your own versus when you travel as a group. I mean, when you know someone and you travel with them on your own, you find that you plan things differently and that I suppose the number of attractions or things that you do may be more because it's only two people you have to worry about. With group holidays, I find them fun as well, but in my experience, I think a good dynamic in a group is doing things together, but at the same time knowing when it is a good time to separate and do things on your own.
Yeah, that's always a problem. You got one group that wants to do one thing, and then another group wants to do one thing, and then one solitary person wants to do their own thing.
Exactly.
Sleep in or do that or swim or whatever.
If I think back to my successful group holidays, it's about allowing those people that perhaps don't want to do the same thing as you to do whatever they want.
Exactly. That's the key to having, I guess, like a happy group.
Yeah. And so group holidays are great, but at the same time, make sure that if you are going on a group holiday that you realise, and don't get offended if someone doesn't want to do what you want to do.
Exactly. But so we were in Koh Samui for a few days.
Yep.
It was probably...
It was a good 5-6 days, I'm pretty sure.
5 or 6 days, 6 nights, something like that. Mm-hmm. And we were there initially to celebrate New Year's Eve.
Yep.
Which was awesome.
Yeah. So we stayed in a resort at the beginning of the main street, the walking street.
The walking street was fantastic.
Chaweng walking street.
Chaweng, yeah.
So we stayed at one of the resorts at the beginning, and it wasn't a pricey resort, but it wasn't and it wasn't over the top, but it was just, I think, our first taste of resort hotel / resort living, I suppose.
Yeah, we hadn't really done a resort before, something like that.
No, we hadn't.
So it was a good eye-opener, and the street was accessible, and you could walk the street, eat street food, which seemed fine because I ate a lot of street food.
There was a lot of choice on the street. I mean, just to go back on the resort, it did sit on the beach. It did. Chaweng Beach. And also it had a great pool.
Right. That had all the little bungalow type setups.
Had a great pool as well, and the gardens were beautiful. And it was really nice to be. I think it was great. We each had a porch on our room, and we were just hung out on the porches for a lot of the trip. And it was a great introduction to how it is to go, on a resort for a holiday.
Look, the gardens is what I remember the most.
Yeah,
I loved the gardens, and the pool was amazing. For the money that we spent for this resort, the pool was the best thing.
Yeah, yeah. And it was great because everyone could stay there. And so that's the best part about being on a group holiday. You go into one room and hang out somewhere else and then meet up for breakfast. And also I think if you are traveling to any places over New Year, often there is a New Year function or something happening in those resorts. And what you got to realise is they will charge you for I think I can't remember what it was called, but it was like a charge for that actual
festivity.
Yeah, so if you're staying there, it's kind of like included. So you might as well just.
It was included.
Just enjoy it.
We were wondering, do we have to spend that $70 or whatever?
Yeah, well,
for a couple.
That's right, and we were a bit apprehensive because we hadn't experienced that before.
No, we hadn't experienced that, but it ended up well, and I saw my first taste of ladyboys.
Yeah. I mean, the food was awesome.
They were quite attractive.
They were. We had great food. We had those amazing, huge river prawns.
In the
massive.
buffet.
Yeah, massive.
Huge buffet set
I think
up for
they
New
roasted
Year's.
a pig on the spit.
They did roast a pig.
Which one of our friends ate a lot of.
We nearly ate the whole pig.
I think so. And
that's why that night he ran off.
Yeah.
He ran off to the toilet and
wasn't to be seen the next day either.
No. He was pretty crook, and the next day he was out like a light. He did not wake until very late in the day.
Yeah.
And we just sat on his little balcony, which is overlooking the pool.
Yeah.
And I think we just had a few more drinks.
Probably.
Drinking in Asia and Thailand actually is quite cheap.
Well, yeah, you can go to, the equivalent of a 7-Eleven or a mini-mart or whatever.
7-Eleven.
And buy the long neck beers cheap.
Which costs, 60 cents Australian or?
Who knows what it is now.
Some crazy price back then.
$1 or $2, whatever. It wasn't really that expensive, and you could have your Tigers and your Changs and your Singers. And definitely I think it's cheaper to drink outside of the resort and bring them back.
Yeah.
But it's not a big deal because it's not like it's enforced that you can't bring those things in.
No, I mean, you can.
Yeah. So anyway, the entertainment for the New Year's was, pretty much traditional Thai music, dancing, the Ladyboys. I think was there a cover band or something?
There was a cover band.
Yeah, I feel like there was. And
I think he was a Thai Elvis.
Yeah. And then in the end, we were greeted with some fireworks.
Yes. I was going to talk about the fireworks. That was the most life-threatening part of my holiday. And then Bangkok topped it off with nearly trying to kill me.
Yeah, so
between the fireworks and super evil food poisoning, Thailand didn't want me there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who haven't travelled to Asia before, I think I said this in the previous podcast, in the previous episode.
Yeah, you may have.
Thailand's a great place to start. It is not so confronting, not something that it's totally weird or foreign to you. But, the power poles with copious amounts of wiring on it, that definitely is not safe.
Oh, my God.
the
You
uneven...
have to just go on Google and look up Thailand and then electricity poles.
Yeah.
And you'll see a lot of photos with the most haphazard setup of wires that you'll ever see in your life. It's crazy.
I mean, it's not just Thailand. There are other places around the world.
I would say it's Asia.
Parts of it, yeah.
Mexico was like that too. It was kind of crazy.
I didn't notice so much.
You just have to look up.
Uneven sidewalk, going up and down levels all the time. You definitely can't walk without looking down, unfortunately. But it is, and also it is confronting in that it's sexualized nature.
Sexualized?
Yeah, I mean, it comes out. You see a lot of things that can be confronting.
Yeah, that's true. So, I actually thought maybe you said sectionalized.
No.
It's a section of people, but I don't think it is. We also spent time in Krabi, but do we want to talk a little bit more about Koh Samui? Because
sure.
There's plenty of things that we did in Koh Samui.
Yeah, definitely.
Like
Let's do that.
The nightlife in Koh Samui is great.
Yeah.
If you like Russians, even better for you because they're everywhere.
Definitely.
They infiltrate Koh Samui.
Well, just like Australians. I mean,
like Stolichnica vodka.
Yeah. I mean, Australians tend to go to Phuket or Koh Samui.
That's true. It's usually one or the other.
Yeah. And so you expect to hear a lot of our accents when you're there.
Yeah, well, Phuket's a direct flight, though. Koh Samui, you have to go to Bangkok.
Connecting, yeah.
It's a connector.
And what's really amazing is that, those guys that get you to get your suits tailored, that stand on the edge of the street. And often they're like Indian or some of them are Thai.
Yep.
They will pick up where you're from just based on what you're wearing. You don't even have to open your mouth and they'll be like, hey, Aussie man.
Aussie man.
Hey, Aussie man, you want to get a suit, and you haven't even opened your mouth. So I don't really know what we look like, but to them, they knew exactly which nationality we were.
Maybe it's the ripcord shorts, the billabong singlet.
Maybe.
The Aussie thongs.
Thongs, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that gave it away.
So one thing you need to know about Thailand, and I suppose parts of Asia are the same, is that it's sometimes really relentless in the offering of goods and services. They
push it on you.
Yeah.
But you just got to know when to stop. Now, if you want second-hand products like glasses,
what do you mean by second-hand?
Sorry, I don't mean second-hand. I mean knockoffs.
Oh, yeah.
I meant, like a...
Fake stuff, yeah.
So if you want fake stuff, Thailand's really good for all that. But,
yeah,
but it's not going to last.
And it's pretty crappy quality, so...
Yeah, it's not great quality at all.
Yeah. But, I mean, you mentioned the food.
Yep.
Heaps of choice.
There is.
Obviously, some good, some bad. On the main street, you'll get, Thai food. You'll get all sorts of food from everywhere. So if I've got people that I know that travel to Asia and actually don't like Asian food, which is really weird.
What?
Yeah, they travel to Asia and they don't eat Asian.
They just eat Maccas.
Well, they eat Western food because it's on offer in most of those places.
That is the most ridiculous thing in the world. If you're going to go to Asia, at least try the food.
Oh, it's not uncommon, but a lot of people enjoy, obviously, the nightlife, the beaches, the resorts, and so the food isn't a big deal. Unlike me and you, where the food is definitely a big deal and a big reason why we go to places.
Yeah, well, we go somewhere to experience their culture. So I don't go there because I know there's a Macca's there and that's what I'm going to be eating every day. It's not what I want to do. I want to eat. If I'm in Thailand, I want to eat Thai food. I want to try and see if I can eat as much seafood as I can.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to stay away from pork products and beef and all that because I want to eat what the country produces. If the country's by the water, I want to eat fish.
Yeah.
If they produce a lot of cattle, yeah, maybe I'll eat their beef.
Yeah.
I'm not going to eat imported stuff like a Wagyu
beef steak or whatever.
Beef steak from Japan.
Exactly.
It's going to cost a lot of money. It's ridiculous. You're kind of on a budget when you travel as well.
Yeah, definitely. You can't just...
everyone who travels has a budget.
Yeah.
On a lot of occasions, you go over your budget.
On food.
On food,
and drinks,
So it's important to know the budget and to not eat as much Western food because it actually costs more.
It does.
Than the local food. The local food's quite inexpensive.
I remember eating at like a little hole in the wall place just before the resort, kind of just off the main street, and it was just a wife and her husband cooking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it was just stir fries and, traditional Thai dishes, and that was probably the best meal I had.
Yeah. Do you remember Ben's Bar?
Unfortunately, I do remember Ben's Bar.
What do you remember Ben's Bar for?
So, let me paint the picture.
Remember, it's my bar. Okay, so be lenient on my bar.
So, when we arrived, this was our first night.
Yep.
And being on holidays, you go out for dinner and some drinks. Girls get dressed up. We were all dressed up with makeup and all that.
Boys dress up as well.
And we're walking down that walking street like I mentioned.
That was that side street though. Because if you went straight, remember, you'd go to that main walking street.
Yeah.
But if you went left, that's where it got a little dodgy.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little bit seedy.
So we look across and one of our friends says, "Oh my God, there's a place called Ben's Bar. We've got to go.
So
we've got to go to Ben's Bar."
We went to Ben's Bar, and for the rest of the night, it was my bar.
Yep, and I felt totally uncomfortable there.
Is it because of the older fellow?
There was an older fellow leering. And making comments at young women.
At young Thai women.
Yeah. And this is...
had a Thai woman sitting on his knee.
Yeah, so this is what I mean about the sometimes sexualized nature of Thailand.
That's a thing with some men that go to Thailand. It's easy for them because... the Thai girls like the attention and they like the money, unfortunately. They're beautiful people, the Thai people, but it's just they don't earn a lot of cash there. And
so regardless, that's what...
it's a little bit of a tricky thing.
It's just what it is there. But it was it was funny. Like, I mean, it was fun. Yeah, you guys played billiards, had beers. The beers were cheap.
We had a good time and we were kind of laughing at that guy.
Yeah. That's
even
right.
though what he was doing was, not right.
Yeah. I think he even said...
Did he leave with one of them?
Yeah, because I think he said to him, I bet you look good naked.
So we also spent time in Krabi.
Yeah.
And
did you want to mention anything else that Koh Samui has?
Look, be honest with you, Koh Samui, we did New Year's. That was fun. We enjoyed swimming in the pool.
Yeah.
The shopping in Koh Samui was great. That main street was fantastic. The food there was good.
Yeah.
I never felt sick. What else?
There was a big
Ben's
Buddha.
Bar was fun. We went to a lot of other bars.
Yeah.
There was bars that were full of Russian people.
We did a tour
cool.
of the island as well, if you don't remember.
Maybe we'll quickly talk about that.
I mean,
the tour.
So
I actually don't remember it.
Yeah, didn't we see a big Buddha up on steps? And then there was a monkey farm, and then which I don't really agree with.
Yeah, the monkey farms I don't agree with either.
Didn't we go, was Koh Samui the place where you went into the river and was swimming in the river as well with your brothers?
Ooh.
With your brother and Lincoln? But anyway,
I can't remember that.
On the main street, just like there is in most places, you have the option to do a few tours.
Yeah.
So you can choose to, I think, take a boat out. You can do a little tour of the island to see different sites. Yeah, so it's well worth... You'll have things to do if you stay there, basically.
Though, I thought those tours that we did were off Krabi or Ao Nang.
Yeah, we did another one there as well.
Because I thought the majority of the tours were there, but I don't remember doing any tours. We must have.
We did.
Look, Koh Samui is fun. I recommend it to people. Enjoy. My brother-in-law and his wife, Mark and Ivanka, your brother and his wife.
Yeah.
They love Koh Samui.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. It's a fun place to go. But look, if you're going to Thailand for the first time, that's a good option for you.
Definitely. It's I don't think it's as busy as Phuket.
Yeah.
And it's a great place, and even if you have kids, you could easily take them there.
Oh, definitely. It's not just a couples retreat type of place.
No.
We also spent time in Krabi, more specifically Ao Nang.
Yep.
Which is a beautiful little beach area. Except for the water was a bit murky, and I think it was due to all those longboats that were parked that, give you tours to all the little other islands.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they made the water quite dirty. It wasn't clean water. Actually, saying that Koh Samui water is not that clear either, but I think when we were there, it was a bit rough.
There was 2 days that we went to the beach. The first day, it was really nice. We all swam.
Right.
Really,
it was nice.
Because obviously the resort has chairs set up on the beach and you can sit there.
Yeah.
But the second day, because I think it's an island, and so the weather, because Koh means island, the weather does change, and so if it's stormy or windy, then you will get waves, and therefore the water's not that clear.
Yeah, well, that's true.
With Koh Samui Beach, I'm just looking at a couple of pictures.
Okay.
It was really beautiful. If you remember, the limestone cliffs and rocks, really stunning beach.
Is that the place that had
It's where you guys went canoeing and you went around
the penis
Yeah.
rock? Is that it?
Yeah, that's
and
it.
we did that tour.
Yeah.
I remember now.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that was there.
So, it was
Penis rock. You've got to see the penis rock. It's actually beautiful around there.
Yeah.
That's what they call it.
Yeah. But yeah, Ao Nang is in, I suppose, near Krabi. I think Krabi is...
It's north of Krabi. It's a little cove, I guess.
Yeah, it is exactly a cove. And it's beautiful area. But yeah, the beach, the water was like...
Made my skin sting.
A little stingy.
Remember?
I don't know what it
stingy.
is. Yeah.
But it's Ao Nang is actually located southwest from Koh Samui in the Andaman Sea, just below Phuket. So it was an hour. So what happened was when we were leaving Koh Samui, it was about an hour ferry ride. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
An hour, and then we hopped on a bus.
An hour on an overloaded ferry.
And an overloaded ferry, which
you got to be
terrible.
Careful with those things because
actually, I don't recommend the ferries.
I mean, the reason why we went on the ferry and the bus, because the price difference for a flight was significant, and we thought
there was a big difference.
We thought that we'd try that out. The ferry system there is people don't really wait their turn. They will push and shove to get on, and in the end, we ended up at the back with all the luggage, and the luggage just thrown at the back, breathing in boat fumes.
Maybe it's a bit better now, though.
However, if you do want to fly, I think it'd be a quick flight from Koh Samui to Krabi.
Probably an hour or so.
Yeah. And then we did a bus after the ferry.
So we did a 3-hour bus ride from memory. It's about 3 hours.
Yeah.
And that was through a pretty safe strip of road.
Yeah, it wasn't bumpy or anything like that.
Probably past some palm plantations, I think.
Yeah.
And some other nice areas of Thailand, which you probably
saw a lot of
see.
limestone cliffs and
that's true. We did
things like that. So
we did. And there was interesting flora and fauna and stuff.
Yeah.
But there was also on the bus that silent version of The Expendables on a tiny screen. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember how Lincoln got all hyped up about it? The Expendables is on.
Yeah. I couldn't hear anything, so
you couldn't hear anything.
It didn't really matter for me.
The screen was as big as a laptop.
Yeah. I found once we did arrive, we had stayed in it's kind of I don't know what you wouldn't call it. Yeah, Orchid.
It was Orchid Resort. It was like a 4-story, 5-story building that had also a pool attached to it.
Yeah.
With the little pool villas that surrounded the pool.
Yeah.
with their own little...
Off the main street.
Yeah, it was off the main street.
Yeah, and the main street's great. I think even though it was small, there
Yeah.
was heaps on there. We were able to eat there every night.
I loved that main street. Out of all the streets,
Yeah.
I enjoyed Ao Nang Street the best.
Yeah, and I'm actually looking at pictures of it on Google because it's great.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different choices around food.
Yeah.
The food was really good. None of us got ill in Ao Nang at all.
No, we didn't.
And you know how the beach, the street keeps going and it curls around to the beach? I think
Yep.
we all got like foot scrubs and pedicures and all that sort of stuff.
I got a pedicure.
A pedicure?
And a
I think you
face
got
scrub.
a facial and a foot scrub.
Foot scrub with Lincoln.
Yeah, you did.
But they didn't paint our toes.
They painted mine. And it's
Cute.
great. It's a great little place. Definitely recommended for families. I think this is an easy little trip to do.
Yeah.
Like I said, the food was good. We had pizzas like twice.
Yeah, I remember the pizzas.
And your brother went to
we even tried the Macca's there just to see what it was
I
like.
didn't.
I did.
And your brother went to like a all-you-can-eat dinner there, and he said it was awesome.
Did he go by himself?
No, he went with his partner at the
Which brother
time.
was it?
Patrick.
And
he had he said the food was really good and they ate a lot.
Because they actually joined us in Ao Nang, didn't they?
Yeah. So our party did all stay together in Ao Nang
And that was after like a 14 or 15 hour bus ride from Vietnam. Was that right?
No, he. I think he did the ferry with us and the bus.
So did Patrick meet us in
Patrick was with us in
Koh
Koh
Samui?
Samui, yeah.
I totally forget that.
Oh my gosh. Yes, he was with us.
Was he?
Yep.
Okay.
He stayed just outside the resort.
Fair enough. Well, we also did some day trips in Ao Nang
Yep.
where we did some amazing snorkeling
Yeah.
in some of the clearest waters of the world.
So again, like I said with Koh Samui, Krabi has the same offerings on the main street, like tours where you can go on a boat, on an island tour. We did do one actually in Koh Samui, but it was a huge boat. And then you ended up going into longboats to go to the various islands. With Krabi, we opted for the speedboat option because
We did.
I hate longboats. I can't stand
They're
them.
hard to get in and out of.
They're the worst
Aren't they?
seagoing vessel ever. They're unstable and they're just
Unseaworthy.
I don't know how. They look pretty when you take a photo and they've got their flags hanging off them.
Yeah.
But if you want to go on a tour on the islands, it is pretty scary how fast they go on the speedboats. But try and do your research and pick one that does visit the surrounding islands because they're really beautiful.
Oh, amazing.
The water's super clear.
I'll post some pictures.
And yeah, put some pictures on because the water is beautiful.
Put some pictures on the website.
Sand is white and you
very
can just
white.
jump from the boat into the water.
And the water is super clear.
And it stops on great islands too, actually.
It's as clear as the waters in Crete and Mexico.
Yeah, yep, definitely. So,
I had some things I just wanted to bring up
go
from
for
last podcast.
yep.
So I was going to actually say it at the start of the podcast, but I forgot altogether. But I'll say it now. So, number one, you can't wash club sandwiches in lettuce. I actually said that in part one of this podcast. I said you can't wash club sandwiches in lettuce. Now, you can't.
No.
I don't think you can,
You
unless you had
can't.
a bowl of lettuce and put your sandwich in
Yeah,
the lettuce.
no, you can't.
And number two was, when did we arrive in Playa del Carmen? I think it was a late morning flight. We got there in the early afternoon. We had a snooze. And then when we woke up, it was pretty much time to go for dinner.
Oh, okay.
I think that's how it worked out.
Okay.
And my number 3 point is that Mexicans don't sell cans on the beach. They collect them to then sell them as scrap metal to make money.
Yep.
Obviously.
True.
Number 4 was... okay, we don't need to read number 4. I was just saying that I'm going to expand on this podcast and not make it just a how I was sick in Bangkok.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be just Thailand.
No worries.
And it was a Walgreens that we bought food at in Playa del Carmen.
No, it was a Walmart.
A Walmart.
Yes.
Got you.
Walgreens is the chemist people,
Yes,
the
got
pharmacy, yeah.
And also number 6 is the last one. I'm not sure what I meant by clear waters and Europe being further away from Mexico, when some of the clearest waters I've swum in is in Asia.
How interesting.
Thailand, to be more exact, which is only 9 hours from Melbourne. So I admit I was a bit of a douche.
Yeah, everyone makes mistakes. Or
Yeah,
new
but
at
I
this
like
game.
to actually pull myself up if I make a mistake.
Okay, you're forgiven.
Thank you.
So back to Krabi. Great place, lots of fun, good food, good resorts, good value. I'd definitely go there, and I'm not sure why people don't go there as many.
Because it's not known. It's
Yeah.
not advertised as much, Ao Nang.
Yeah.
But they've got so many little day trips to marine sanctuaries that they've set up, which you can only get by a day trip. So it's not like you can get there easily.
Yeah.
And they limit the number of tourists, and you can usually eat a little lunch there if you set it up. And it's always, it was nice. We did a couple of those, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too.
What I was going to say is that one island I really wanted to go to from Ao Nang was Phi Phi Island. It was directly west of Ao Nang. It was famous for the film
The beach.
The Beach, which I love. And that scene where Leonardo DiCaprio's character runs up to the water, somersaults, and then sits up, and then he sees like a vista of a beautiful like turquoise. Turquoise, thank you. I don't know how to say it. Turquoise water, blocked in by a large rock formation. Remember that?
Yes.
It's actually a real place called Maya Bay. But that middle mountain rock formation, which I'll show you later, has been digitally put into
Oh, no way.
into the film to make it look like it's a cove where water can't escape. Now, theoretically, it could work. But it has an exit to the sea. So usually that main rock that's in the middle of the scene when Leo's looking at the rocks, there's an exit.
Okay.
So I don't know why they chose to close it up.
Maybe because it was meant to show how secluded.
Well, it's for visual effect, obviously.
You know how,
But have a look on YouTube or Google and see the difference. It's quite cool. It's really idyllic.
Cool.
But Thailand is a fun place, especially when you're not sick as a dog.
Yeah.
Thai food is nice too. It was our first real taste of Thai food, although we may have eaten Thai food the night before we left to Thailand.
Yeah, probably. It sounds like something we do.
I like doing that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like we said earlier, beer is super cheap. Alcohol in general is really cheap. And the seawater in most places is quite clear and safe for families to swim in.
Yeah, exactly.
Although there isn't anyone there patrolling any beaches.
No.
So that's up to you. I know Lincoln at one stage got stung by a jellyfish at one of the marine sanctuaries we went to.
Yeah.
And guess what? That marine sanctuary was packed with people.
Yeah.
Because about 10 other groups were going to the same island. Because they tend to go to the same island.
You're going to end up having that anyway. Unless you pay big bucks and have someone drive you around to secluded islands, it's going to happen.
But remember the buckets of... sorry, I'm just changing tack. Mojito buckets, now that I'm thinking of it. You can get massive buckets of mojito, which cost next to nothing.
I don't know how watered down they are, though. They could be.
Oh, they could have been, because I never got that drunk.
Yeah, exactly.
But
my point.
I really liked the mojito.
Yeah, it was good.
It was very
fun.
tasty.
Yeah, so just going back, when you are island hopping, you will get a lot of other people.
It's just one of the things. But it's cheap.
It is cheap.
It's cheap and well worth it, especially when you're in Ao Nang, because I think that western side of Thailand is the best side.
Yeah,
it's much nicer than the other side where Koh Samui is.
I suppose they both got their own points.
Well, yeah, of course they've got their own points, but we're going to move now on to Bangkok.
Yep. So we flew.
So we flew from Ao Nang to Krabi, Krabi to Bangkok.
Yep.
And we got into Bangkok.
This is where you were...
Crazy place.
So this is where you were thinking about the bus ride. This is what your brother did. He went from Ao Nang to Bangkok, and that was like an 11-hour bus ride.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's done some crazy bus rides in his life.
I mean, it was, they were traveling for a while and money was important to save. So, yeah, crazy place. Lots of smells.
Absolutely. I call it street cheese.
Yep. Street cheese. I associate Bangkok with smell. Smell and traffic. Lots of traffic.
I'm thinking about something. Did I ever mention... we did mention the fireworks, didn't we?
We did, but they were
in Koh Samui.
Life-threatening.
Yeah, because they went off right near us.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make that point.
And they went on for hours.
Further.
Yeah.
And they went on for hours. Like, we probably went home at around 1:30 a.m. in Koh Samui.
They were still going.
But yeah, Bangkok is a very cool place.
Yep.
Loved it. We went to the Grand Palace.
Yep, Grand Palace.
And we saw a lot.
We did. It's quite a large complex. So what you've got to realise is that you need to make sure that you don't wear any singlets or sandals or thongs or shorts. Bare shoulders are not obviously allowed. This is a holy place. It's got quite a few temples in the complex as well. It is ceremonial now, so it's not occupied by any royalty. However, it's built. Its actual building was begun in 1782.
Wow!
So it's quite old, and it's got a lot of intricate tile work as well as painting, as well as statues, some gardens. It's got that huge Buddha that's lying down.
Lying Buddha?
Yeah.
What do they call it? It's called the...
It's got to be in one of the is it the Emerald Buddha, maybe?
Could be the Emerald Buddha. I took a lot of photos of the Emerald Buddha.
It's amazing. So
she's huge. Or she
very
or
big.
He.
Yeah. He or she?
He. Maybe
it's huge.
It's long.
And look, it's...
And tall.
You will sweat, definitely.
You will sweat profusely.
Yeah. And just bear in mind something that we noticed when we came out of the cab when we were dropped off is some people tell you that it's closed. It's not actually closed. They're trying to get you to pay them to take you in. The other thing is you'll hear on a loudspeaker to be wary of pickpocketers. It is probably the biggest attraction in Bangkok. So you need to make sure that you're...
Far.
Just like you would in anywhere else, be wary of people around you.
Yep, absolutely.
But it's not closed. If your travel guide says, or you've looked it up and it says that it's closed, people don't listen to the people that tell you that it is. Because I don't know if you remember, people were trying to tell us it was closed.
Yeah, I remember
at the front,
that,
and us trying to take
the driver trying to take us in circles, but we just got out in the end and made our way around the corner. We listened to what the loudspeaker was saying.
Yeah, and I think even some police directed us to the right entrance.
Yep, the police directed us to the right entrance. We paid whatever it cost. I forget the price.
Yeah.
But we went in and there are so many different buildings to enter because there's museums and so forth inside.
Yep. And it's great. And
it's absolutely gorgeous.
Beautiful. Lots of photos.
The architecture's amazing. And the plants,
the
way they've trimmed all their plants, it's kind of similar to Japan where they really take care of the gardens, especially inside the Royal Palace, which is royal.
So this is when you felt well.
I was feeling really good on this day because I remember we must have got in at a good time from Krabi, and it might have been the first day that we were there. We thought,
yeah, definitely.
Let's go to the Royal Palace.
I think we just went on our own as well because our travelling buddies had already been.
Yep, they'd already been to Thailand and seen stuff because it was our first time to Thailand, and it's been our only time.
Yes, actually,
but that's not the reason why I haven't been. Like again, it's just we haven't had the opportunity to go again.
Yeah, that's right.
But so the Royal Palace,
Grand Palace
is fantastic to see. Mm-hmm. What was I saying? There's the Royal.
So you felt well on that night?
Yeah, I felt good, and then I think it was that night that some of the boys decided that Mexican restaurant would be a good option for us.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be a good option.
No.
Because actually, right throughout the trip, I'd been eating street food. And I'd never fallen ill. I'd been eating chicken wings, beef on skewers.
I think we'd eaten pretty much Thai food the whole time.
Well, yeah, we'd eaten
a lot of it.
A lot of Thai food the whole time. Even, I'm guessing I would have had some milk there as well and so forth.
I don't think they really have dairy in Asia
No?
that much, no.
Oh, yeah, the cow's sacred.
No, nothing like
That's
that.
India.
It's just that they don't really have that much milk. It's just, it's like you'll have maybe those pre-made milk ones.
Kind of, that's what I meant.
Like the
where you can
chocolate
go to the
milks and
dairy
stuff,
and you get
yeah.
chocolate milk. So I drank a lot of them.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I used to really like dairy. I actually don't eat dairy much anymore.
Yeah.
If anything at all, because I've gone to soy. But that's another podcast altogether.
Probably
a soy
not.
podcast.
Probably not in this context.
Pretty bloody boring, I reckon.
So, you were sick?
Yes.
So you got sick?
Yes, I did.
And the next day, like you said,
sick.
you were very ill, but I still made you go somewhere.
Yes.
Do you remember
So,
where?
I remember where we went, luckily, and I remember a lot about it. We went to Jimmy Thompson's house.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd planned to do a lot that day with the others, but I just couldn't muster doing a lot. It was enough just to get out of the hotel room while feeling dizzy, faint, sick, turdish, sweaty. But that didn't stop me from going out to his house.
Yeah.
So I'd done some research previously, and I really knew I really wanted to go to Jim Thompson's house. Even though I felt like I was going to pass out with stomach pain and dizziness, you know what? We still went.
Yeah.
So we made that decision. We'd go there. Jim Thompson's house actually sits in a parcel of land that backs onto the Seine Sab Canal.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I spelt it right. It's SAEN, then SAEB, and then canal. So it's a narrow canal that the small boats scream up and down on.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember that.
I think that's also where they have the wet markets off that canal, maybe.
Not 100%
well, I'm
sure.
not 100% sure either. But the house is surrounded by a magnificent tropical garden that gives you the feeling that you've stepped out of Bangkok.
Yeah.
And actually into a little mini tropical jungle oasis. Plants would sprawl along the gravel paths, up trees. Other plants would create canopies above our heads. So it was an amazingly designed garden, but the houses were brought in.
Yeah.
From memory, they were built off-site and brought in.
Yeah.
There's an estimated 220,000 people that walk through Jim's front doors every year. There's guided tours in various languages, including Thai, English, Japanese, Chinese, and French.
Yeah.
The property is actually located down the end of a street. It's the busy Rama First Road.
Yep.
Rama 1 Road. So it's nice to be able to get away from busy Bangkok into this beautiful, tranquil area.
Yeah. It is nice.
Especially when I was feeling so sick. The actual address is 1 Kwayeng Wang Mai Ket Pathum 1 Krung Thep Maha Nakhon 10,330 Thailand. And that's from the official website.
Okay.
That's their address. So if you ever want to send them any letters, if you want to send them a letter.
So don't use your pronunciation, but...
Do you want me to repeat?
No.
1 Kwang Wang Mei Ket Pathun 1 Krang Thep Maha Nakhon 10330.
So do you know what Jim Thompson was all about?
Yes, but 1 second.
Okay.
Jim Thompson's museum costs, well, to enter, it costs 150 baht, Thai baht, if you're under the age of 22 years old. But you'll need an ID. It will be, an adult is 150 baht, 22-year-old and under is 100 baht. So it's very affordable. It's about $25 to 1 Thai baht.
Yeah.
So it's an absolutely unbelievable place. So it's there's 6 beautifully crafted Thai houses made of like teak wood.
Yeah, beautiful.
And they were transported from the Ayutthaya region in Thailand.
Yeah.
As well as other stuff from Bangkok's Ban Krua community. So they brought stuff in from there as well.
I'm pretty sure those buildings were brought in and...
Well, yeah, they were rebuilt and positioned.
exactly.
inside that property.
Yeah. So Jim Thompson was a US architect who came to Thailand at the end of the Second World War.
Oh, cool.
He settled there and he basically decided that he could try and make some money from the silk industry in Thailand because it was actually declining.
That's right.
The Thais, and you'll see this a lot in the souvenir shops, they weave silk.
Yep.
And so he thought that he would try and mass market, I suppose,
I guess so.
this silk into a luxury company, with fabrics.
Yeah,
and
well, he dedicated 30 years of his life to it.
Yeah. And so he assembled those teak houses in that compound, and now it's a sort of museum, I suppose, that you can walk through all the rooms and you can see what it was like, and it's all preserved really well. And like you said, it does tours in different languages, and it's also got really nice gardens and what do you call it? A tea house?
Yeah, a tea house. Really nice tea house.
A bar restaurant
with
sort
a
of thing.
koi pond.
Yeah,
That
really nice.
That kind of is built around the outside of the tea house.
And it's great because, as you mentioned, that address, it is really busy in that area. So this is a little reclusive sort of area.
Mm-hmm. And did you know that Jim Thompson was an avid art collector?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, huge into art. He loved art. And also, with the silk dyeing factories that he set up, they were the first ever silk dyeing factories to send finished pieces of silk overseas to fashion houses all over Europe and New York and America and so forth. So his legacy still stands today. And his house is still a very popular destination for tourists that come to Bangkok and want to see something totally different.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was 1967 actually when he disappeared, and he was at the pinnacle of his success, and he decided, hey, I'm going to go on a trip to the Malaysian jungle.
Oh, that's right.
He was never found again, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He was disappeared, and he disappeared.
He was disappeared.
He disappeared, and there's so many theories about what happened, but no one knows. Really, never found him again.
Yes, well, other than the Royal Palace and a few other places and some amazing temples that you can see.
Yeah.
Jim Thompson's house is also on that list of things to do. But it's amazing how when I started doing research on Jim Thompson's house, I remembered everything about it.
Yeah.
I remember walking through his houses because you start at one point.
Yeah.
Remember, and you go right through.
Yeah.
It's like a museum. It's all set up.
Yeah.
The way he lived with all the wooden chairs and wooden chairs. They're not steel chairs. But that was fun. But obviously, you get sick on holidays, and that's just what happened. But I'll stop talking about how sick I got.
We also went to one of those huge shopping centres, MBK.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that for a bit.
So, look, I was excited to go there.
I was sick.
You were. Again.
Yeah.
I was really excited to go there, and I think I was really disappointed. It was like 8 levels.
8 levels of crap.
Of crap, pretty
really,
much.
It was.
I mean, I bought some makeup, I think, but it was all the shops are really tiny.
Yeah.
Forget about finding any clothes that fit you. And if you do want to try anything on, you really either have to change in the store in a little corner.
Yep.
Or there is no change rooms.
No.
Often, Thai people are shorter and smaller than us.
People.
And so the clothes that are designed are not for Western people often.
No.
I don't know if it's any better now, but at the time I thought I was going to grab a whole lot of bargains. But
I reckon it'd be better.
It probably is better, but yeah, I wouldn't bank my whole holiday on that. I was shopping in there.
Yeah, look, if you want to get cheap knockoffs, then try it. Because they sell a lot of the cheap knockoffs.
They do.
At that time, DVDs were still popular.
Oh, yeah.
They had all the DVDs of movies that had just come out to the cinemas.
Whether they were good quality or not is questionable.
All the wallets, sunglasses, bags, shoes.
Makeup.
Fake shit.
Lots of it.
But there are good shopping centres there also.
Definitely. That
sell high quality brands.
Of course.
Which a lot of us that are on a cheap holiday...
Yeah.
Can't afford.
And I think they're all in that area, really.
Absolutely.
Sukhumvit. So
Sukhumvit.
Sukhumvit. So if you want to stay and shop in that area, well, that's where you can stay because there's quite a few hotels there as well.
If you're talking about the holiday, the hotels, remember the hotel in Bangkok, which we stayed for the last couple of nights? Remember how cold the pool was?
Freezing because it was in the shade the whole time.
Absolutely.
However, it was a great experience because we stayed at the Ramada, but on the river. So we got to travel by boat across the river.
That's right.
The boat was included in the fare, in the stay,
in the cost of the stay.
The food was great there. The
food was
amazing. Breakfast was awesome.
The breakfasts were amazing. But what happened?
I don't know.
Someone couldn't eat the breakfast.
Oh, because he was sick.
Why? Because I was sick.
Okay.
I was so sick.
But yeah, the pool was freezing.
Pool was absolutely.
But it was near the Chinatown area.
Why? Oh, Chinatown was cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Thinking about it now, Chinatown was fun.
Yeah.
So we did Chinatown.
Yeah, so it was good. It was good to
Chinatown, and we ate some food there.
Yeah, it was good to stay outside of the main areas into a different sort of area.
Yeah.
The hotel was great. I think 4 or 5 stars. So it was and cheap for where we were staying.
Absolutely
super cheap. So that's a great thing about Bangkok.
And it was clean.
Yeah, Bangkok is cheap. I mean, Thailand is cheap.
Well, Bangkok is cheap too.
Yeah, I mean, I just looked at it, and rooms can start from $61, which is nothing.
When are we going back?
Potentially November.
Potentially November. Maybe either November we go to Bangkok.
Yep.
Or we go to Singapore. Mm-hmm. Or we go to Hawaii. But before that, we've got to do that other trip first.
Yeah, exactly. Which could be not our next podcast because it's a little bit in advance.
We'll do a couple of podcasts before then because I still want to chat about some other holidays we've had, like the Malaysia holiday, some of the Europe holidays. I want to talk about Croatia. I want to do a Croatia podcast with you.
Definitely.
Especially one that kind of revolves around where we stay most of the time in Split, in Gravovac.
Sure.
So
I suppose that's all we really have to talk about with Thailand.
Yep, I think we're done.
You don't have anything else?
No, that's all from me.
I wanted to ask you a question.
Sure.
I heard and you heard the same statistic about how many podcasts there are around the world.
Oh yeah, I think it's bullshit.
I heard 1 billion podcasts.
No, it's not true.
So I did a quick Google.
Dak Shepard's a liar.
Yeah, I did a quick Google search. And there is approximately 250,000 podcasters on iTunes.
Okay, I'm one of them.
So iTunes isn't the only medium by which you can...
No, it's just one of...
However, I think 1 billion is a bit exaggerated. Maybe 1 billion episodes across all the podcasters.
No, it's not even 1 billion episodes. Probably.
But I suppose one thing is that there are heaps of people starting podcasts.
Yeah, it's a bit scary.
But I thought it was an interesting stat.
I thought I was
not true, but I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, Dak Shepard's a liar. But he's funny.
Yeah. So, so I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yep. Well,
what are you doing next?
What are we going to do next?
Well, what have you got next?
The next podcast that's coming out after this will be the podcast I recorded with Dad.
Oh, great.
And that's called Travel Man versus Travel Dad.
Great.
And pretty much he beat me.
Oh, yeah. He's a good talker.
He talked right throughout. I didn't say much, and he was super negative, but it was totally funny as.
True.
So I'm sure you'll enjoy that one when it comes up. And then after that, maybe we do a Croatia podcast.
Sounds good.
I do have some other people coming on to do podcasts with me, but that will be later on in the year. And I have a new segment that I want to roll out as well.
Yeah, great.
Remember? 5-minute travel to
bites.
Yeah. So that will be something that I'll incorporate in between the main podcasts that I do.
Sure.
So remember, if you want to subscribe to my podcast on iTunes and you haven't done it yet, please subscribe. You can find it also on SoundCloud and all good podcast apps. I'm not on Spotify yet, so I think it costs money, but I'll have to do some research. And I could be on iTunes. I could be on the radio, like I Love Radio, iHeartRadio, and all of those other things. But you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm Travelman Podcast on Instagram and Facebook, and Travelman Pod on Twitter. but I'll leave notes in the podcast. Also, if you type in Travelman Podcast in Google, you'll find me. If you want to email me, it's travelmanpodcast@gmail.com. Also have a website, which is notoriously hard to find because it's a Wix site. But if you go to Wix, or you just type in Travelman Podcast, you'll see the website anyway. So that's it from us. Hope you enjoyed this double-parter.
Yep.
Double-parter. I don't even know if that's a word.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed Mandy co-hosting with me, and she'll be co-hosting, I would
Future
say,
episodes.
Every episode that I don't have
another guest. Oh, thank you.
Because I don't know if people like me talking by myself. I think it's boring.
Okay.
Okay, so cheerio, guys, or guy, whoever you are that listens to me.
See you later.
You one singular person. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.